Ladies and gentlemen, we are live. We are live and back at it again, folks. It's a Thursday night, and we got a little bit of TNA Slammiversary to dive into today here at the Wrestling for Life Network. It's going to be a fun one, folks, as we bring you your preview and predictions for all the action this Sunday. A crazy show. It's gaining momentum. It's selling more tickets. It's going to be fun, and I heard it might be phenomenal. So make sure you get in that chat, click all the buttons. We're going to talk about it, folks. So strap in, strap on, grab your snacks, grab your feel good, and let's go. Ding, ding, ding. We're live and back at it again, folks. Like I said, we are the Wrestling for Life Network. This is another live stream as we bring you our TNA Slammiversary previews and predictions. Going to be a fun one. Really looking for this show. It's always a good show. I can't remember the last time I did not like a Slammiversary, but me and the fella next to me are going to run through all the card, break it down, any rumors, any news, and it's going to be a fun one. We will ask you guys how you feel about it. But make sure you hit like, share, subscribe, hit all the buttons, be a part of the family. I hope everyone's doing well. Friday Junior is upon us. We're Friday tomorrow. The weekend's here. But make sure you remember, I am, as every night, KJ White, the Iron Man on YouTube. And that is Anthony. How you doing, buddy?
I am good. I am excited. We got TNA Slammiversary coming up. I mean, it's been a really packed week in wrestling, right? Starting with Saturday all the way up until this coming Sunday, Evolution, and now we got TNA Slammiversary. Their biggest crowd. I think I just reread the tweet. Their biggest crowd ever in the United States, potentially coming Sunday. So I'm excited. I'm really pumped for Slammiversary.
Yeah, a lot of TNA fans have felt that way. I mean, we've seen, I think the crazy part is like, sorry, I always slip on his first name, but Silva.
Carlos,
Carlos, I should have got that actually. But Carlos has been all of a sudden prominent and very visible. And they've talked about TV deals and they've talked about, moving the needle and the partnership with WWE and how that's affected things. So there is a really good buzz around TNA right now.
Yeah, I feel like with Carlos over the past week or so, he's peeled back the curtain a little bit for us to see what's kind of going on behind the scenes, the restructuring. He talked about Gail Kim. He talked about, the TV deal potentially coming up within the next 60 to 90 days. And then on top of that, I mean, this may be the first time in a long time I've seen like top TNA stars being on, top podcasts. You have Mike Santana on, I think his name is the Ariel show. I think Ariel. Matt and Ariel. Okay, so you had Ariel, you had Matt and Jeff, I think, on the Ariel show today or yesterday.
Yep.
And I have to check that out. But yeah, TNA has got a lot of buzz over the past week and a half. They've made their name relevant over the past week and a half with all of the all-in stuff going on, the Evolution stuff. TNA was still there and kind of making a name for themselves as well over the past week.
Yeah, and I know a lot of the TNA fans are pretty pumped at, like, they kind of get treated like the little step brother at times, and for them to have this event where they're opening up more seats and selling out the floor, and some of the ones that don't really look that fondly on them, are only kind of filling up little buildings too. So it's a little ironic, but good for TNA. And like you said, you've seen them pop up. They're even popping up in Subway Wrestling. The Hardys did it. Santana now did it. It's crazy time. So folks, if you haven't been here before, we are the Wrestling for Life Network, and we do watch more live wrestling than anybody else out there. We are back at it tomorrow, 7:30 for SmackDown. It's going to be a fun one. Lots to talk about that. Cena and Cody going to be in the building. Only a couple weeks to get ready for SummerSlam. My God, I've watched way too much wrestling lately. But and then we're back at it on Sunday for Slammiversary, so we're looking forward to that. But get in that chat. What are you looking forward to? Are you excited for Slammiversary? Do you watch TNA? Again, I know TNA is about to go live as well, so don't spoil it. I mean, if they announce a match, you can let us know. But we're going to cover the matches that have been announced with no spoilers. But and we can surmise of a couple things that might happen. But with that all being said, I mean, it's a very interesting card overall, and a lot of NXT influence on this one. And I'm very curious how you feel about some of these matches, because I know how I feel about them. So I see some names before we get started. Zach, Kevin, Josh back with us. All gas, no breaks. Love the name. Let's go. Mystery Cool. Scott's back with it. Damien, the leader of the Hopium tribe. Dun, dun, dun. All feeling the TNA vibes. I like it. Feels fresh. It feels exciting.
Yeah, it feels different, right? For the first time, it feels different.
Cherokee George, how you doing? TNA X Division, Moose versus anybody. Moose wins. There you go. All right. We'll get there. That's the first one we're going to talk about, actually. Trey, good to see you. Aubrey, welcome back. Jake, the original tribal chief. Got you. Bring back the Slammies. Well, speaking of the Slammies, we will be live next Thursday, 8 p.m., and we are going to bring you the 4 lifeys, the Golden KJs. These are our mid-lifeys, the half-year awards. So we're going to do the first 6 months. We usually do them a little closer to June, but it's been so crazy. There's so much wrestling. How do we get it in? So we will do that next week before it's too late in the season to do it. But TNA Austin Powers, MDB. I got free tickets to Slammiversary. Keyshawn, that's awesome.
Neat.
You're gonna make Anthony jealous over here.
Right?
Thinking about blogging it. There you go. Do it. And remember, if you bring a sign with our logo, we will send you a t-shirt to say thank you. Let's go. All gas, no breaks. Got you, Aubrey. Geekbox. Remember, folks, Geekbox is in the chat. Give him some love. Brother of the channel, the guy bringing the community together. All his videos are killing it. Go check him out. If you haven't seen the Geekbox content yet, go do so. He is British Nick, and we love him for it.
Absolutely. We love Geekbox over here.
Let's go. Dennis, Trey, Alan. All right. Brandon, how you doing? Dennis, got you. But let's kick this one off, Anthony. Very interesting match. But Indy, we all know Indy. We all love Indy. Taking on Tessa Blanchard. I think this is going to be a very good match.
Yeah, I'm excited for this one. This is one of the matches that I feel like may be a sleeper when it comes to how good this is going to be.
Yeah.
What I had in mind for Tessa going into 2025 when she, showed up at Final Resolution has not really been what I thought was going to happen. I thought they were going to prop her up and she would be the Knockouts champion by now, but they really got her into some side stories and they're not really having her in the picture right now, and having her face, man, I lost her name and I can see her. Indy. Having her face Indy at Slammiversary, I think is perfect. It seems like they have a little bit of history outside of the ring. Obviously, some of it may be exaggerated for storyline purposes, but I like that they're bringing that in a little bit for this match. It seems like there's, some heat, maybe some real heat, I don't know, between these two women, but I think they're going to deliver at Slammiversary.
Yeah, I think this is a big test for Indy, because I think no matter what people feel about Tessa, she's established herself as a very strong wrestler. So I think that this is going to be good for Indy. And you actually touched on something I was going to ask you. The fact that they didn't just bring Tessa in and push her, like she could have been the one that dethroned Jordan, not Masha, and then she could have taken that belt from Masha even after the fact. I think they've done well of just kind of let her do her thing, let her become a familiar face, let some of the past stories drift away, if you will.
Yeah, and I kind of have seen that over the past at least month or so with her being on TNA programming. It hasn't been a lot of that, chance that she was getting, things of that sort. It seems like they're kind of letting things a little bit flow with her. So I think they'll continue that. Maybe they put her back in that Knockouts title contention close to Bound for Glory. But I think right now they're just trying to keep her, in the mid-card scene, if you will, if there is one for the Knockouts.
Yeah, and I do wonder if part of that was, strategically, she was taking a lot of heat when she first came back, and they just kind of powered through it. She played into some of it because she's a good heel. So she was able to kind of just, again, keep just kind of doing her thing. And eventually, how the internet fans are. They get kind of tired of bitching and complaining, and they move on to something else.
Exactly.
So maybe by the time she comes around, we can debate whether or not she deserves to be a champion, but it's based on the merit of the last year or so.
Yeah, absolutely. I think time will tell. I don't know if she will have the Knockouts title this year. I would like her to, me personally, but if she doesn't, I can see 2026 if she's sticking around with TNA for a minute to
Okay.
maybe grab that title.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And it'll be interesting what her future holds as far as this company goes. But real quick, just want to click on Spaz, $10 super chat. Thank you, sir. Remember, folks, super chats your only way to guarantee that you get clicked on. All love, guys. Good to see a good Tony in the wrestling sphere. Tony Rings, Smooches, K Jig, hyped for the #2 promotion on Sunday. Also, did you hear TK's direct line was changed to 588-1144? If you know, you know. What is that? The number for medieval times reservations? What is up? Listen, I'm already getting enough heat from AEW fans. They're mad at me right now. But anyway, thank you so much for that. But let's go. Let's go. Outcome of this match, Anthony. I think I'd hate to be agreeable, and I'm guessing, but I got Tessa winning this one.
I actually have Indy.
Nice. Okay.
I have Indy because I think I want Tessa to win, but I think this might be Indy's biggest match in TNA, maybe her biggest match in her career outside of winning the NXT title. I think if they want to make Indy a bigger star and a bigger singles competitor, what better opponent to go over than Tessa Blanchard?
Yeah, very good point. Like, are you worried that her losing here, especially if it's a clean loss, might hurt her momentum a little bit coming into the company?
I think so, because when they brought Indy in, they brought her as a hot commodity, and they really haven't. I don't want to say they really haven't did anything with her. She's been kind of like in and out just a tad bit, and then over the past couple of weeks, having this story with Tessa really has brought her out to the forefront, and I feel like we may need to capitalize on it right now.
Right. I see where you're going with that. I think I kind of went towards Tessa just because she's been on a run, and maybe this isn't the only time we get this match. So we'll see where it goes outside of this. I don't know that it's necessarily a one-off, especially with the knockouts division. I like the idea that this could blossom into a rivalry.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've heard rumors of maybe TNA bringing in a mid-card title. I don't know how true it is. It's faint rumors, but I think they have enough women in that division now to actually kind of do that. So this could be the start of them trying to bring in that mid-card title if that's, what they want to do.
For sure. Absolutely. Real quick, this one from Geekbox made me chuckle of Anthony survived the Naomi cash-in. We were concerned. We put out feelers for you to make sure you were good.
Yeah, I was struggling a little bit after. I'm not even gonna lie. I rewatched the ending of the stream, the Evolution stream, and I saw that Boston said that I had called him, and I did literally probably about 5 minutes after she won. I had called him, and I was hyperventilating. I'm not even lying. But Atlanta was lit for Naomi. On top of like the reaction she got live on TV, there were people celebrating in the what is it, the where you try to get to your seat, the hallways. There were people celebrating Naomi's win in the hallways. So it was really bonkers, in Atlanta for Naomi.
That's amazing. What a moment. What a moment. And Atlanta was crazy for that show. They were up for it the whole way through. A lot of people talked about the energy of that show compared to some of the other shows we got that weekend. So they showed up and showed out.
They did.
Yes, the 4 lifeies, the Golden KJs, aka the best awards. Well, we let you guys vote for the most part. We might have to censor y'all a bit, and recency bias is a problem. But the votes are up. There's a bunch of polls up right now. More polls are coming out tomorrow as we will introduce some of the other categories, and then we'll be here live to give out the golden KJs. But
absolutely
60% of the chat taking Tessa, 40 taking Indy. So not an overwhelming favorite, but definitely a favorite.
Yeah. And Tessa is always going to be a favorite because she's proven herself time and time again in that ring that she can go.
Yeah, that's the thing. And I think MDB kind of might have touched on it. Tessa B is a freaking star. I wish I had known how good she was a long time ago. She is honestly one of the better women's wrestlers I've ever seen between the ropes on the mic. I mean, to the point where Tessa's the only woman to hold the men's title. Like, she was the men's world champion when things kind of went sideways originally.
Yeah, and MDB, if you want to see a really good Tessa match, I advise you to go see the match where she won the world title.
Yeah.
It was against Sami Callihan. I don't remember the pay-per-view. I'm sorry. It might have been Slammiversary, but I'm not sure. No, actually, I think it was Hard to Kill. I think it was Hard to Kill, but I'm not entirely sure. Just Google world title Tessa Blanchard versus Sami Callihan. That was a phenomenal match.
Unbreakable, no?
It might have been Unbreakable. I really don't remember. Like, I watched like a playlist of her on the TNA Plus app.
Okay.
I just don't remember.
Yeah, no, it was a hell of a match. No,
yeah.
she again, she has had her personal issues and a lot, but I think she's trying to make amends, and there's been no reports of any issues from TNA. So that's the good side of this one.
Yeah. And according to Google, it's Hard to Kill 2020. It was Hard to Kill. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, she fought Sami before that. That's fair.
Yeah.
All right. No, that's good. This one really should be a good match. Not sure when we're gonna see it, but yeah, I'm looking forward. It could go absolutely either way.
Yeah. This either one. I think it would be a perfect winner. But I don't think it's over here if they continue this.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Atlanta is a great city. I've never been to Atlanta. I got to check it out one day.
It's nice if you're not in Atlanta.
It's like the old adage, like, it's a great place to visit, but I live here, so I hate it. It's kind of how I feel about my city at times. Anthony, you were happy that Hangman was finally able to dethrone Moxley. I think most people were.
Yeah, I was definitely happy. We got past the Moxley train.
We hope. We hope.
Right.
Yes, at least he doesn't have the belt. But next match on the docket, I'm pumped for. There's a couple reasons. One, this match kind of was a haha to a lot of the dirt sheets because everybody said, "Oh, here comes Cedric to the Hurt Syndicate." Not the case.
Yeah, I love that. It reminded me of like how the Righteous showed up on AEW, or like they had a vignette and then, you know, Elijah or Elias showed up on TNA. So right. when he showed up Cedric showed up at TNA, I was like, all right, I'm gonna be one of those people be like, ha, he didn't show up.
Right. I love the all-in squash NXT as expected, but then they assumed Evolution wouldn't do much. But they managed the women's only show to show up most of All In 24 hours. Naomi stole a lot of headlines, and then Roman took it from there.
Yeah, Naomi. I think Evolution was trending 24 hours after it, finished. And so Naomi stole everything from everybody. I mean, that's her gimmick. Proceed with caution.
Right. And absolutely. But yeah, so Cedric Alexander, Mustafa Ali, these guys, we've seen them, they were the heart and soul of 205, and they run this back. Cedric shows up unexpectedly, and this match will arguably be match of the night, match of the month. This one's going to cook. I can't see a world where this isn't a good match.
Yeah, I think for me at first, when it came to the story, I wasn't really feeling it, but I knew the match is going to cook. It wasn't until last week with Tasha Steelz. I feel like last week was Tasha Steelz' breakout moment, if you want to call it, because like she brought Cedric Alexander in. We all thought she was team Alexander. Then she turned on Alexander, and that was all a part of her plan to basically be in the forefront of Order 4. Yeah. And how that came together was so smooth by Tasha, where I was like, I think I'm actually excited for Mustafa Ali versus Cedric Alexander, and I don't need it to be a good match to be excited. The storyline just cooked with Tasha Steelz.
Yeah, she kind of upped the ante, and we've seen Tasha around for a long time, so to see her kind of pushed into a forefront of this, you're right. It definitely added the intensity of the story going into it. I was pretty content just on I've seen these guys. I'm pretty sure their chemistry is going to speak for itself when it's time. But now how does Order 4 play into this? Is she going to be happy with what Ali's doing? Is she going to help him, support him? Is he going to be left alone? Does she flip back and help Cedric? Like, it's a really interesting dynamic going into this pay-per-view.
Yeah, and when Cedric was first brought in, it was kind of to where Cedric was trying to be the level-headed guy, because it seemed like Mustafa Ali was really destroying Order 4 from the inside out, because he couldn't win. He lost to Mike Santana. And honestly, it was like Tasha Steelz turned this around all in 1 week. And like you, like we both know like this match was going to cook, and it really didn't have to have a spectacular story. But I think I just got more interested once the Tasha Steelz stuff was revealed, and I'm like, okay, is she really with Mustafa Ali? Like you said, is she going to side with Cedric on Sunday? We just don't know.
Yeah, no clue. I mean, it leaves it up in the air, and this will be a very interesting match. I think Ali needs to win, but Cedric's new. I find this one very hard to call. I'm leaning Ali though.
I'm leaning Ali because didn't he lose the WrestleMania match between these two?
Yes. Yeah,
and I think they brought that up on TNA. So I'm leaning towards Ali here too.
Right. Last time they fought was Mania 34 pre-show, so several years back now. But yeah, I mean, again, I think this match going to be highly entertaining. The fact that they found a way to work in some really good story with it, I'm very excited for this match as well. One of the matches that I think I like this match in like an opening spot just because of the energy. It should be a very strong match.
Yeah, this is definitely an opener, and I kind of hope they go with that idea. This will set the tone for the rest of the night for Slammiversary.
Right. Cedric for the win. Would love Cedric to win, but I have a feeling Ali is going to win thanks to his crew. That's always a factor. I mean, unless Cedric might have anything in his back pocket, Big Swole come out or some shit.
Right.
Tasha Steelz is going to be involved, definitely. When Naomi's music hit, came on, I jumped up, punched the air, and remembered I had a leg injury and fell back to the crowd. It happens, man. It happens in the heat of the moment. Tessa Blanchard, WWE. I don't know yet, Alan, and I think this is part of what she's going through right now. I think I always said with the WWE, we talk about Mandy Rose or Tessa or anybody. I think it's the Google factor. If you Google their name, what comes up? And they got to get the bad stuff like a few pages back at least.
Yeah. It may happen eventually, but I feel like right now she's just going to lay low in TNA.
Right. John taking Cedric, Kyle taking Cedric, Ronan taking Cedric. So a lot of people feeling Cedric. He is the new guy on the scene. So it's always hard to bet against somebody when they just get there. But and Cedric can go.
Yeah, Cedric and Ali both can go. That's why this match is going to be really, really exciting. So even if Cedric wins, like it's not a bad loss for Ali. That just means the story, either way, the story is going to continue, maybe up until Bound for Glory. So this is just going to be good. Like you said, this could be match of the night.
Right. You could have Cedric lose his first match. I think you meant can't, because right here you said Cedric for the win. So Damien saying kind of the same sentiment. You don't know if you can let Cedric lose coming in. But yeah, I agree with you. I don't think we're going to get just one of these matches. I don't think so at all. Spaz with another $5 super chat. Tony, first off, I won't call you the substitute. Hey, well, he's part of the family. What is it? It's like, it's not substituting. It's definitely rotating in. Second, who do you see realistically showing up? We're going to get to that. We'll get to that, Spaz. We appreciate it. There are some rumors, and I love the dirt sheets of Silva says it's going to be phenomenal. And then the stories come out. People in WWE are saying that.
Right.
Oh, come on. You heard the same rumor we did.
When we get to that portion of the stream, I'll put my 2 cents of all of that in. I don't have a second guess, though. I can at least say that. But with all the rumors, I'll put my 2 cents in when we get to that part.
It feels like a lot of smoke. We'll see. We'll see. That's a good question. We'll get there. WrestleMania 34 kickoff show facts. Tessa's first page of Google is looking quite clean recently. There you go. There you go. That's what
That's
you want.
good.
You want to,
That's good.
you make amends, then you distance yourself from it. So again, there's been no talks, and we see the talent she's working with. If there was any issues, we'd know pretty quick.
Yeah, absolutely. It'll be out there. I do to touch on Tessa before we move on. It did come out that it was a lot of rumors that Gail Kim was the one that brought Tessa back, but from Gail Kim's from Gail Kim's mouth herself, it was not her. She put a tweet out and she put the person's name who was the spearhead of bringing Tessa Blanchard back. I can't remember his name, but she basically said that wasn't me.
Right. Cedric versus Ali is going to be match of the night, and it could be match of the year. It's going to be a really good one.
Yeah, it's going to be, and I hope it kicks off the show. I'm with you with that. Kick this off with that.
Yeah, it feels like a show starter. The vote in the chat tonight is 50-50, which is crazy. 50-50 on the button. Wow. So that will be very interesting. Looking forward to this one. But next on the docket, I know this one's near and dear to your heart in a lot of ways, but we're getting the Team Elegance, or whatever you want to call them, and the Iconics.
Yeah, so we got the Elegance brand versus the Inspiration. This one is kind of near and dear to my heart because I love both teams. Been a big fan of the Inspiration when they were in WWE as the Iconics, and really Ash by Elegance, got released from WWE and really been doing her own thing in TNA and making it work for her and for the TNA crowd. But Ash and the Iconics or the Inspiration, they got some history, right? Yep. It seems like there might be some history with Ash not liking how they got released from WWE. True. And I just don't know if it's real or if it's storyline, if it's a little bit of both. But I mean, I even had Ash comment on one of my tweets about it, and she was like, this is not about the Elegance brand. This is about what they did to me. So it's a lot of stuff between this one, and that's why I'm excited because of the story behind it. You had the Iconics at the TNA signing a couple of weeks ago, and then the Elegance brand showed up and basically destroyed their signing, and they got into an altercation in front of all the fans. So this is kind of what brought this story to light, and I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I mean, again, I think it's a running theme tonight, but very excited for this one. I joke and tease. I kind of give Ash by Elegance a little bit of a hard time as far as my critique goes, but she's done well in TNA. Another person that's been able to get to TNA, and they have enough time to allow the wrestlers to develop and kind of find themselves. At first, people were like, "Oh, it's just a knockoff," but no one's saying that anymore. That's quiet down. She's found her own little groove. Adding Heather's changed the dynamic a little bit. But the Iconics, I always call them the Iconics, but the Inspiration coming back into the scene. And it's very interesting. Or how long are they going to be in TNA? I think, they're a very good candidate to take on the Knockouts tag titles. It should be a fun match.
Yeah, it should be a really good match. And like you said, we don't know how long the Inspiration is going to be in TNA. I think I heard maybe a year with an extension. We also have to remember that Ash is actually the #1 contender to the Knockouts title. So that's this true. Could be where they lose the title and they push Ash into that main event scene. So I don't know. I'm torn because, can both teams walk out as champion? No, but I think because I love the Iconics, the Inspiration, I think I'm gonna take them to win here. But if they don't, I'll be okay with the Elegance brand retaining.
Yeah, I don't want to be agreeable. I think if I was to put my money down, it's going on the Inspiration. They're back. They're hot. People are happy to see them. I'm curious to see if they, venture over into NXT land at some point. If there's some crossover that way. Kyle mentioned they could have been at Evolution. I think that's more of a, where would you fit them on the card kind of idea. But either way, the Knockouts division has kind of needed a boost in the arm. This looks good. This looks strong. Tessa and Indy look strong. So it feels like the Knockouts are kind of finding their groove again and kind of building back up. TNA's always booked their women well. I hope that doesn't change with the absence of Gail, and it doesn't seem to be right now anyway.
Yeah, and you know, we lost some big stars in Trinity and Jordan Grace and Mickey James and stuff like that. And over the past 3 months, you know, splitting up Spitfire with Jody Threat and man, I can't remember her other name. Danny Luna. And Danny Luna, you know, they exactly splitting them up. I think that was great. You know, you added more singles competitors in that division. We got Harley Hudson and Myla Grace as a new tag team. There's two other people that had just signed at the tapings a couple of weeks ago. I can't remember their names. So they're really making this Knockouts division something big. And it actually came out this week from Alicia Fox that she is now officially a knockout. So, you know,
so she official again. Okay.
Yeah, she's officially a knockout now. So they really trying their best to bring that Knockouts division back up.
Yeah, I think that's good for them. It was one of their claims to fame is you got to see our knockouts. And for the longest time, they were real strong. But like TNA's done a dozen times, they go through ebbs and flows. And you listed a bunch of names that really kind of, if you lose that quality of talent, it's going to take you a hot minute to kind of reestablish where you're going with it. Matches like this should speak volumes. I think they're going to get time. And I'm taking the Iconics.
So we're on the same page here. Not a bad choice.
So is the chat. The chat is just over 75% right now. Taking the Iconics as well. I mean, could they win the other way? Here's a question. Do they got the Inspiration have new theme music? Correct me if I'm wrong. I think Harley Cameron did their music video the last time they were in TNA. I was wondering, I wonder if they still have that same song.
They still have that same song.
There you go. Shout out Harley. There you go.
And that was the first time, like, I've heard Harley Cameron sing, but like hearing her with that song, like it fits perfectly.
Yeah. She could have been the third member. She really could have.
Right.
Inspiration for the win. It will be iconic. Let's go. Dark State versus System has been confirmed. So you and I talked about that before we went live. I didn't put it in the slideshow, so we'll tackle that. Actually, we'll tackle it now because it's already on the screen. Dark State, the System. This one's interesting. Could go either way. I mean, some of the other things might help indicate where this goes. I know our buddy Nick doesn't love the Dark State at all, but I'm going to pick them to beat the System.
Really?
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to take the System on this one. I don't want a whole WWE takeover, right? But there's a lot that could happen with the next couple of matches, so I gotta stick with TNA here. I'm gonna take the System.
Only reason I'm taking Dark State I think to be a little difficult, and also it's weird though because I remember when you and I the last preview show we did for TNA. We had talked about like the System feels like they're puttering. I think 2 shows before that we were saying the same thing. Like, Moose dropped the bell. What's going to happen? And yet they're still kind of going strong. Like not maybe the same, but they're still very unified.
Yeah, they're still very unified, still somewhat going strong in a way. I think someone said on Twitter that they're actually like on maybe a 7 to 9 match losing streak.
Yeah,
without Moose, because Moose still out there winning, I think. But I don't know. They're sticking strong with the System.
Yeah, they've been taking some L's. Maybe they need to revamp that, but it shall be very interesting. Now, Dark State's kind of a lower rung, just got in the company vibe. In a world, I could see the System kind of put them in their place as the veteran team. So I don't think it'll hurt either way, but I'm kind of enjoying Dark State making a mess of things right now.
Yeah, they're making a huge mess of things. So we'll see how this goes. I feel like with all the title changes and the matches that, may have significant title changes, I think we're leaning closer and closer to a WWE versus TNA type thing down the line.
Yeah, I mean, and then I think this past Tuesday, it was kind of the closest we felt to almost like that invasion. There was like, by the time you count the System and there's like 5-6 members of TNA all on camera at the same time. So a lot of TNA presence on the show. And I'm still kind of waiting for that. Like somebody throws their hands up and it's chaos. We know Mark Stone was trying to, get in there and take over. Not Mark. Yeah, Mark Stone, right?
Yeah, Robert Stone.
Robert Stone. My bad. I always do Mark Sterling and Robert Stone, but I mix them up. But thank you, Spaz, for that.
Thank you.
This one is going to be a fun match, and the build for this has been good. Leon Slater, man. I mean, we talk about up and comers. Leon's here to play, and I think this one's going to do really well.
Yeah, I feel like if they don't put that title on Leon Slater, I'm gonna be super disappointed, because I think they did very well with pushing Leon and putting him in the forefront, with teaming him with the Hardys, putting him in main events. I know he's pinned Moose once. I think he's pinned Moose twice, and then this kind of gives a David versus Goliath feel, right? Yeah. Moose is the big giant, and you got Leon Slater who can run around that ring, do flips and stuff. I think they have to give it to Leon.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you on this. I think it was last week where he kind of told Moose off to his face verbally, like, and again, we know what he can do athletically. So to see a little bit of fire within Leon and stepping up to Moose and kind of putting him in his place, I thought it was really good for Leon. So he's been a good signing. He's done extremely well. Again, I keep betting against the system. I'm sorry, but I keep betting against the system, especially with the last match. If Moose is busy with this match, I think they lose both. Sorry.
Yeah, I think they lose both too. I think it's time for Leon Slater here, honestly.
Right, Anthony, you took back the ambulance you jacked on Saturday. And they're stealing ambulances. Shout out to Velvet Sky and Angelina Love. The beautiful people. Let's go. Harley Cameron sings their music. Video was fire too. Yeah, I just didn't know if because of the relationship changing, that if they held on to it or not. So that's awesome. But Leon Slater Moose. The chat is at 54% Leon. I don't know if it's us convincing them. What's up, Darren? 54%, so slight edge.
Yeah, slight edge to Leon there. Okay, we'll see. I mean, I thought it would be a little bit more further for Leon, but I don't know. This is a coin toss. It really is a coin toss, because they could let Moose, keep going for a minute. He is the second longest reigning X Division champion in history, so they could.
Yeah, it's just so hard to bet against Moose. I think that's the hesitation. Meese is winning, but it's so hard to bet against Moose, because there's been so many times that Moose has not been considered the guy that was going to win and finds ways to win. Again, one of the most decorated TNA talent that we've ever seen. So this one, I just know it's going to be a good match. That's the fun part of this one. But I'm going Leon with you again to be agreeable. I hate it, but oh wait, Moose took over the votes. Moose, slight edge. No. I mean, small sample size, but there was a swing vote popped in. It might have been Darren. What up, Darren? How you doing? What a great time to be a wrestling fan. You have to take the good with the bad, and I'm ready for SummerSlam. That's what we keep preaching. My friend, is, again, a lot of fun, a lot of good things. And you don't have to like everything. I didn't like what I had to subject myself to last night, and apparently I'm a bad human for feeling that way. But again, it doesn't mean that Saturday wasn't great and Sunday wasn't great. Monday was we've had a lot of fun stuff. I keep saying, like, this channel's taking one day off this month. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't like what happened last night either. I kind of turned, I was really excited for Dynamite, and I wind up turning it off. So, KJ can't do that, unfortunately, but
I thought about it. There was points where I was just like, okay, how are we doing, folks? But again, it's debatable, and people like what they like. This one's funny. KJ's so agreeable. It's Anthony. It's Anthony's cherub-like demeanor. I don't have Nick here yelling at me tonight. I have Anthony's very convincing. You get more bees with honey than vinegar. So there you go. He's convincing. Slater for the victory. All right. I fell asleep during AW. That's not good. I can't wait for this match, Anthony. Ladders match. Rascals is good enough. Nemeth, the Hardys, and I cut off 2 tag teams now that I realize that, but AJ and Navarro. This is insane.
Yeah, this is an insane fatal 4-way, a ladder match. Four of the top teams in TNA. I hate that. Like, I really had the Rascals going into this, honestly, but
Okay.
Trey Miguel is injured. And he is going to wrestle at Slammiversary, but after Slammiversary, he is going
Okay.
to seek surgery. I
Okay.
think it's a herniated disc. I'm not entirely sure of the
Oof.
exact injury. But I heard that it could be Myron Reed, who is now a part of the roster's page, that could win this match, and Myron Reed could be that person to hold the title, with the Rascals there. So I don't know. Honestly, though, I don't care who wins because this is going to be great. This is another one that could be match of the night.
Yeah, it really could be. I mean, it sets up really well. Oh, sorry, I thought I lost my thing for a second, but it sets up really well. And I think that, I mean, I like what the Hardys have been able to do. I think the Hardys have shown that they're smart enough pros to find, even being older pros, there's ways that you can work and be effective and be exciting. The last time we saw the Hardys have a ladder match, it was insane, even though Nick was mad about, some of the feed issues. Still mad about it, but Myron Reed just being added to the page, the roster page, was kind of surprising for me. Of like, nobody said anything, nothing happened. He just popped up on the screen. Like, I didn't know he was going to join. But we know the history Myron has with the Rascals. With Trey going out, I think that's a nice fix.
Yeah, I think when it comes to Myron, like, he showed up on TNA.
Yeah,
like 2 weeks ago, maybe last week, he stepped in for
yes,
Trey Miguel, and then all of a sudden he was on the roster page. So it was kind of weird there. But like you said, when it comes to the Hardys, they've learned how to work in their age. In that last ladder match they did at Bound for Glory, they didn't do too many high spots, but the high spots they did were entertaining. That kept you going, and they let the other 2 teams, which I believe was the System and ABC, do some of the high spots, right? And then they had the match at Final Resolution. I think it was a tables match. I was there. And they had some high spots there too, but they didn't do too many. So they've learned how to work well in their older age, and it's worked good for them, where it still doesn't feel like a Chris Jericho, if I'm gonna say
100%. That's a great example, right? Like, I mean, I think sometimes you get gentlemen, maybe like Chris, who are like, I'm going to book all the lucha matches and show everybody I can still be the Lionheart. And then you got guys who are smart. I mean, we even see it with like Randy Orton. Randy Orton has very similar, but he knows what his big moves are, and he doesn't do a lot of extra stuff, conserving. And we've seen the Hardys have phenomenal matches. That match with the triple threat with ABC and the System, that was a phenomenal match, and it was all dedicated to them, so we kind of knew they were going to win. This one's up in the air. AJ Francis might be one of the best rebound stories. He kind of left WWE, not a lot of fanfare perhaps, but to the man's credit, he didn't give up. First Class looks strong. They've done well. Casey Navarro, I've been a big fan of since he was on the Indies, working consistently. Him kind of working with AJ here has worked really well. I think this is going to be a hell of a match.
Yeah, this is going to be a really, really good match. And I think, like you said, when it comes to AJ Francis, he's found his footing in TNA. He knows where he belongs as TNA, fired by WWE twice, and then, twice. And then, like you said, a lot of people not talking positive about AJ Francis.
Yeah.
But now a lot of people are silent when it comes to AJ Francis. I think my pick for this one, only because of the Rascals doubt, I'm taking First Class, because if it's a team that really kind of, and I hate the word using deserved, but if it's a team that really kind of deserves it at this point, I think it may be First Class.
It feels a little earned, maybe.
Yeah.
Now we can't count out the Nemesis. My favorite. My favorite. The Nemesis. Dolph and Nick together have been good. I mean, you know, I think, did I call him Dolph and Nick? That was not right.
I think you
I
did.
caught that, folks. But Ryan, yeah,
Yes, Ryan.
Ryan and Nick, they've been. I mean, obviously, their obvious chemistry being brothers. They've been good heels, good foils for the Hardys. Yeah, I don't know if I can rule them out completely.
Right? Yeah, they could walk away and retain, right? They want him at Rebellion, so it hasn't been very long. If you want to give them some time, you could push this back to, Bound for Glory. Victory Road is, upon us. I think Emergence, they brought back Emergence this year, so that's another one. So you like you said, you can't count out the Nemeths.
Yeah, no, not at all. I actually think I'm going to take the Nemesis. I don't know why they don't like have shirts that say the Nemesis, right? Like,
right, that would work.
So you think First Class? I mean, I mean, does Casey Navarro get the belts and AJ just roots them on?
I think so.
Nemesis, TNA. Yeah, I'll get the champions to retain. I think their contract status is all kind of comfortable right now. Yeah. They've been good. And I think the Hardys, I don't know. I'm really intrigued to watch the Hardys lately because they've got so much fanfare and stuff. I wonder how much do they eventually kind of bleed in to this relationship with the WWE a little bit more. But yeah, I'll go the Nemesis.
All right, so this is where we kind of disagree. I'm cool with it. No, I'm cool with it.
You're fine. Fine. Rascals, 35%. Nemesis, 29%. Hardy's 35%, so tied with the Rascals. First Class, 0%. No love.
Shoot.
Anthony is the one vote. Now you got to go vote to give them 1%.
I am on an island by myself here.
Nobody feeling that AJ love. No, I really like what AJ Francis has done. I like how he's presented himself. Even online, he's done extremely well. And again, I mean, people are gonna, we're always gonna remember those big bloopers. Titus O'Neil falling into the ring at the greatest Royal Rumble. He's always going to be kind of known for hitting that top rope, but Joe Hendry made light of it, and he's persevered. He's a really good heel. This is a guy that could go back to the WWE and be perfectly fine.
Oh yeah, absolutely. He's a monster heel at this point. And if WWE wants the call, I think he has a bid for a higher price if WWE wants him.
Lady B, I love that. Dolphin Nick. Son of a bitch. AJ Francis is still really? He's earned my respect. There you go. Hey, he's a bit of a dick. I don't like you, but I respect you. I can be okay with that. Right. Dana Brooke is close to Dane Cook. Just saying. Like physically or like in name?
Right. I think maybe more in name.
Yeah. Just remember the best thing about Ryan is his brother is Nick. Facts. That and he likes lawsuits.
That's true. That's
highly
true.
Entertaining. He's kind of a funny guy. Yeah, I think we've said this twice already. Like you look at a couple of the matches we talked about, really could kind of steal the show. And again, this is a fatal four-way with four good teams that could also steal the goddamn show.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you're right. That ladder match is going to cook, and it's going to cook very, very well.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of energy. But speaking of a lot of energy, I think a lot of us, maybe I'm wrong, but y'all can let me know. I can't wait for this match. Evolution kind of worked out the way I thought it would. I didn't expect the Blake Monroe moment, but I kind of felt like JC was going to be the one to go after Masha.
Yeah, I wanted it to be Jordan, and then I had to think about it. Why would Jordan win just to drop it a week later? Because Jordan doesn't need the TNA the Knockouts World title, right?
Right.
So I think JC Jane is the perfect choice. The match at Evolution with Jordan Grace was really good. That was really the first time That was really the first time I've seen JC Jane in ring, and she did very, very well. So I think this match is going to be really exciting. And either way, history is going to be made. Either
Yeah.
JC Jane will have the TNA Knockouts World Title, or Masha Slamovich will be the NXT Women's Champion and be a co-company champion.
Yeah. I mean, like, it's crazy. We talked about Trick, and I think you and I and Nick have discussed this before, where we were kind of looking for, if you're really in bed with each other, let's share some stuff. Let's pause on all of that. But that's kind of where I fell of like, it's one thing to say, yeah, we work together and we get some cute little matches here and there, but let's make it count if this is really what it is. And I think the Trick thing has been nothing but a success. And I think Masha is an absolute monster. Up until Tuesday, I would have put 100% of my confidence in Masha. And then Masha looked like a badass on Tuesday. And I was like, uh-oh. I'm just so wired that way of she looks so good on the go-home show. But I think Masha is just one of those people that just look good when she's there, period. So she might be the exception to the rule.
Yeah, and that's true, that go home rule, but we still have the go home show tonight.
She's there tonight.
And she's there tonight. So we don't know. Maybe JC Jane gets that upper hand tonight, and it's like, okay, this solidifies Masha Slimovich's win on Sunday.
I want Masha to win. One of my favorite matches that I've seen of hers, like she came to Toronto and she actually tore the ring apart with Speedball. They physically were moving the boards. They ended up in the ring, like in the goddamn ring. Masha's a monster. Her career has been great. We saw what she did in GCW. I think it'd be amazing. 2-belt Masha, I'm all for it. Lots of options as far as who can go after her then. And maybe you do run back a Jordan Masha, on a heat wave kind of thing. Yeah. I think you're protecting Jordan by not having this be her in this position. Mm-hmm. And I mean, we saw them. It took Masha 4 times to beat Jordan. Right. So Jordan showing him again is a bit of an eye roll. JC has exceeded our expectations.
Yep.
And I think this is going to be a strong match. I'm putting all my money on Masha though.
Yeah, I'm here for you. I'm putting everything I got with Masha. I mean, one of the first matches I saw with Masha was her versus Jacob Fatu at Wrestling Revolver, and I was sold. And I feel like right now people are not talking about Masha enough. Masha has had a similar reign with the Knockouts title that Jordan Grace had last year. I think the reign that she's had right now may be slightly longer than Jordan Grace's, but no one is talking about that. And I think this is where you have a big moment for her being co-company champion, and this would look good for Masha. Honestly, it would look good for JC Jane too. But out of the two, respectfully, Masha is the bigger star out of the two, and I think this is where you give her the NXT Women's title.
Yeah, I think she's the bigger name, and it's the bigger story. And for all the skeptics out there that truly don't believe that this is a camaraderie, like even if you listen to Carlos Silva in interviews of like, it's been good, it's been collaborative, they get along, they like each other, the relationships worked. But for me, it's like a big sign of like good faith, and it would put a lot of the naysayers if Mash is running around with the NXT title. That's insane.
Yeah, absolutely. Because right now we've only seen the WWE side having the TNA title, and if like you said, if this is a partnership, and Carlos has said it so many times that this has been going great, I think we can put that NXT title on Masha, and like you said, it may quiet the naysayers for a minute. We'll say it
probably
like that.
Not. There's some of them. Trust me. With the day me and the internet had today, some people will never listen. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think the ability to have match, and then you set up a whole world of possibilities. Mm-hmm. And again, there's not many matches I can think of where I was like, oh, Masha was in a match and I didn't really love it. I've seen her kill it. She's talented as hell. And you can line up a lot of things from this, and including on both sides of the rosters. There's a lot of women that could come for this. I also think they tease some issues with Fatal Influence this past Tuesday.
Great.
Maybe Jasmine's ready to get a little bit of a push now that she's healthy. And, JC's starting to be a little shitty to her. So if Fallon's a talent unto herself, that might not exist very much longer. So go Masha.
Yeah, and from the picture here, I didn't even notice that they had Zaya Brookside in Masha's corner. So that's perfect.
Yeah, and Zaya. So, so it's going to be to counter Fatal Influence, and I apologize to Zaya because I cut her off. But Zaya Brookside and Zaya Lee are both going to be supporting Masha in this.
Perfect. That helps. That equals out the mess there. So I like it.
So yeah, I mean, a bit of a babyface contingent. I'm sure it's going to play out in a bit of a brawl here tonight. And when we get a chance to watch it, it's going to be good. Let's see, 61% from the chat for Masha. A good amount of people, like almost 40%, think that JC's got a fighter's chance. And I think that's fair. I don't think, as much as we've praised Masha for the last 5 minutes, I don't think it's a slam dunk. And I do see a world that JC could pull it off and shock the world. So, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, absolutely. Fully in agreement.
Dolphin Ziggler is really throwing his brother a freaking bone. Throw me a freaking bone here. He quoted Austin Powers just so you wouldn't know what it was. I helped you out. Ash by Elegance always looks mad. I think we call that a resting something face. I don't know what it is.
Right?
Still feels like Joe Hendry's song for Ryan Nemeth just absolutely killed any momentum he could have ever had. I thought that was going to happen to AJ Francis because that song was so good. Banned from flying or banned from diving.
Yes, that's it. We were here for that. Me and you both.
Yeah,
we're here for that one.
That one murdered. The Ryan Nemeth one. It was so on point. You're like, oof, that feels so true.
Right.
But again, it works. But I think Ryan's big brother, even if it buries him, Big Bro's there to kind of pull him out of the dirt.
Right.
But let's see what else we got real quick before we go on to the next one. They bring up Jordynne Grace. Now we can have her versus Naomi title match as a return match from Naomi left TNA. There you go. Thinking ahead.
Yes. And Naomi get her leg back and beat Jordynne. Yeah, absolutely. It's a different Naomi now. It's not the same glow Naomi that she fought at Hard to Kill.
Right.
So,
yeah, you won't be walking in against Trinity this time. This is a whole new woman, and she's found such an amazing groove. And I'm really looking forward to SummerSlam in that triple threat or that situation. Yeah. But yeah, it's going to be good. But yeah, I mean, that's a little bit of playing chess here, looking past us a couple moves. But yeah, there's definitely a world. And the dirt sheets did report, like, Jordan's going to be imminently up. I don't know how true that is. And I'm really curious what happens. I like Jordynne and Blake Monroe as your kind of non-title main event scene ladies match to kind of build the future there on NXT side.
Yeah, you can run that, 1 or 2 times.
Yeah,
and maybe move Jordynne up to the main roster.
Yeah, I mean, she's a powerhouse for sure. Let's hear some potential matchups for Masha if she wins. KJ, Masha. Apparently, I mean, again, I think you have no problem running any one of the Fatal Influence can give her a match. I think Zarya can give her a really good match.
So
Ruka's taking the world by storm, my friend.
Jada Parker.
Let's go.
What's the other one? Lola Bice.
Lola, I love what Lola's doing. I love the fact that they're giving her time in AAA. Yeah, we can run this all day long. But we're both going Masha?
Both going Masha.
So is the chat. Fair enough. Well, last but not least on our docket before we talk about some rumors and such around the show, but the triple threat, a lot of people talking about it. Of course, NXT's Trick Williams goes into Slammiversary as champion. The first time in history somebody comes in as champ that's not part of their company.
Yeah.
Joe and Mike, I find this a little more intriguing and tricky than people I think I've read. Like a lot of people kind of have their feelings and they're strong. I think Joe and Santana have a strong argument here.
Yeah, definitely. Santana and Joe have a strong argument after Mike Santana's interview yesterday, I think it was. I'm fully behind Santana, right? If anybody saw his interview, you pronounce his name. It's not
Ariel Helwani.
Ariel on the Ariel
Under
show.
the Sea.
He talked
Oh, that's
about
Ariel.
he talked about his father. He got really emotional talking about his father and his father's passing, and then how like he's been thinking about him all week because his father would be flipping out that he's main eventing the UBS arena and everything. After that interview, I was already sold on Mike Santana, but after that interview, I was like, there's no way Mike Santana is losing Sunday, right? But Joe Hendry has a case. Like Joe Hendry has to redeem himself. He's the one that lost the TNA world title to WWE. So he's kind of in a redemption arc. And Trick Williams, honestly, Trick Williams is doing the best work he's done so far in his career in NXT right now in TNA. So all three of these gentlemen have a great case to walk out as TNA world champ.
Yeah, I think I agree with you about Trick 100%. I think the minute Trick's done with this program, Trick is going to the main roster. I could be wrong, just a feeling, just a guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there was such love and such fanfare with Joe. And then there was a small part of me of like, if Joe doesn't win, could we see Joe kind of go a little heelish and still want that belt, right? Like, does Santana rub it in his face of like, you lost it, I had to go get it? But there's so many factors. You talked about that interview. You talked about his presence. Like it wasn't Joe Hendry sitting down with Ariel. It was Santana. Stop it. Leave the good old Scotsman alone. But it's in New York. He's a New York guy. He's kind of come up through those legendary ranks through the New York underground with guys like Homicide and Grim Reaper, and they really made those names. And it was a really, believe it or not, like a really grimy scene. A lot of guys couldn't hack it in that New York independent scene. And I really appreciate what he said. He talked about not being stagnant, always needing to improve. That's why he hated AEW, wanted to get out. Like he wasn't happy just collecting a check. And when he got free, I remember he cut his own personal, vignettes or, those selfie promos, and he told the world like, this is my time. He got in better shape. He's a way better wrestler now than he was 2 years ago. I think this is his moment.
Yeah, this is I really feel like this is his moment. If Joe Hendry wins, I don't think I'll be too upset, but I think we're building all of this around Mike Santana. And I know it's easy to say that it's in Mike Santana's home state, home city, but it's like these other two gentlemen in this match have a good pull of a case, but I really want this to be Mike Santana.
Yeah, I think I do too. And I mean, I love Joe. I'm a big fan of Joe. I defended Joe losing to Randy Orton because people were pissed off about that. Yeah. But also, is Joe closer to the end of his time there? I feel like it's late this year, right?
Yeah, I think it's end of year. So we may be in the last 5 to 6 months of his contract with TNA.
Yeah. That'll be very interesting, the dynamic. And I almost think that's the trade-off of like, all right, Trick's going to drop the belt. You get that one back. And you get to have the women's title for a little bit. Like we both take a turn. Now, some people might argue that, Masha gets the women's and Trick keeps this one or vice versa. I like the fact that this is wide open. I could see all three winning. And I don't think there's an outcome that I'm like, oh, that sucks. I can't believe this happened. Ultimately, I think they're going to have a phenomenal match. I think it's going to be kind of the theme of the night. All these matches look really good. Why this card's so exciting. This is going to be a really good main event. Be very curious if anybody else gets involved, like a Dark State or something. I don't know. No DQ, of course. Money on Mike Santana for sure.
Yeah, I kind of want to be all in like I am with Masha in the previous match. That like this is Mike Santana. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I'm all Mike Santana for this match.
Yeah, and again, it may be a little too agreeable, but it just feels right. And again, there's a
Yeah,
lot of factors coming through, and I think I like you said to see Mike Santana kind of moved into the forefront and be highlighted and do well. Like he's a very well spoken guy, passionate about what he does. I think that intrigues a lot of the people around and the companies that he works with.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, the MDB hates me. I think I think you're absolutely right. I'm excited for this one, and this is going to be a good one. I don't know if it's a match stealer or a night stealer, but it's definitely going to be a good one.
It's got a potential to surprise just because of the twists and turns and the talent that's in the ring. Again, I think some of the other matches just overall might stand out, but
Yeah.
again, it's the main event. They know they're the main event. It's a big show. What do they bring to the table? So all three are going to want to show up and show out. And literally, that's going to be very interesting. As we mentioned, for those who don't know, they've added Dark State versus the System. This is a really good point, and I don't know where this stands right now, but Steve Macklin's not on this card defending his title.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to look to see if there's any updates. He's not on the card, maybe because he just defended his title. I think was it last week on Impact.
Yeah.
I'm kind of surprised about that. Maybe they're just setting him up for something bigger down the line, but I am kind of surprised about that. Yeah, I'm a big Steve Macklin guy. I really like Steve Macklin.
Yeah, I've kind of I was really disappointed that Macklin, when he was in NXT, and his the Forgotten Sons were all super forgotten. And they all moved on, and
Yeah.
one of them went crazy. I don't know where the other one is. And Macklin, and he always said, I didn't revamp myself. I just got an opportunity to show myself. And he hasn't missed a beat. He's had some amazing matches. Some of my favorite TNA matches over the last 2 years involve Steve Macklin.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I would like to see him get on this card, but let's hope there's a plan as far as where he goes from here.
Right. And I'm looking at the TNA page on Twitter. Nothing's been announced with Steve Macklin. So
Right.
I don't know. We'll see.
I like this one. Last time I listened to Anthony's predictions, I lost the predictions title.
No one ever told you to listen to me, though. See,
right.
That was your wrongdoing there.
Right. You got to take responsibility for your actions, MDB.
Exactly.
Why is my access channel has a delay video not matching with the talking? Anthony, I wish I could tell you. I currently don't work at Access or TNA. But I know sometimes there could be a lag. It could be your internet, perhaps. That's the fun part about streaming, where the internet has to be reliable. I don't know if anyone else is lagging, but hopefully that works out for you. There you go, getting some love. Bye, AJ. How you doing? I almost said the wrong name. David, how are you? Let's go. The Ho Town Man. Now, the big talk, and Richard brought it up. So before we tap out and say goodbye tonight, lots of rumors. Now it went from AJ to possible other people on the main roster. I don't know if that's just people taking one story and conflating it. But it even asked straight out by a man that I'm not a big fan of. I asked him directly, asked Carlos Silva right to his face, is AJ going to be there? And he said, it's going to be a phenomenal night. And I just feel like he wouldn't have been okay with that question. He wouldn't have answered it that way. It feels like a very big possibility.
Yeah. When it comes to that, AJ Styles could show up, right? He used the term phenomenal. I know everybody's going to run with it, but going back to what you said earlier when we said we're going to come back to this, he said phenomenal, and then all of a sudden, all of the reports came out. Oh, AJ, it's been in talks for months. It's been in talks. It's always been the plan, and it's like, no, you guys are playing on this because of what Carlos said, right? I don't doubt Carlos. I think for me, And I want to caution everybody this too. I actually made a video earlier and deleted it because I had the background of one of the reporters that reported it, and I didn't want the video to be taken out of context.
Okay,
so I wind up deleting it. But I want to caution everybody. I want you to go into Slammiversary because of the Slammiversary card, not what is rumored, right? There's a lot of eyes on TNA right now. TNA is doing great things, but TNA is doing great things without, the mainstream main roster WWE superstars, right?
Yes.
The working relationship with NXT has been that's been over a full year. The official announcement was in January, but it started last summer. I just want to caution everybody not to go into Slammiversary thinking it's going to be AJ Styles or Seth Rollins or whatever the case may be, and you don't get it, and then Slammiversary sucks because you didn't get your main roster WWE superstar. Go into Slammiversary for the Slammiversary card, and if we get AJ Styles, if we get a secondary main roster superstar, be excited then, but don't get overly excited now.
You heard it here first, folks. Seth Rollins will be at Slammiversary. Quote Anthony. I'm tweeting it out when I get off. No, I mean, we've seen that over and over with the IWC. And we saw it at Evolution where they were like, we didn't get this one, this person, that person, this person, that we expected them there. We wanted them there. Yeah, well, you got to base the card on what they advertise, not the rumors out there on the internet. I would agree with that. AJ, everyone's anticipating AJ stopping by. Do I think AJ is going to run in and phenomenal forearm Joe Hendry and cost him the match? No. Do I think AJ might pop up on the screen, or do I think AJ might come out and be like, "Hi, I'm AJ. I used to work here."
Right.
Maybe. Yeah. But I don't think it's going to be, people are talking about AJ getting in a program, but I think AJ has business on the, on the main roster right now with Dom Dom. And he's got to deal with that. I could very much see him doing a victory lap as his career winds down. He's definitely a TNA Hall of Famer. We know the stories that, he's not ready to go into a Hall of Fame yet, which I respect. But I completely agree with you. It's a rumor. We know the clickbait out there. I love the fact that these reporters work backwards, where something comes out and then they start turning it into this insider information. And we're like, no, we watched what you watched. Stop playing with my emotions. We know what you're up to. So,
and I'm glad you mentioned the Hall of Fame, because I believe Carlos talked about making TNA Hall of Fame a priority now. This could be where AJ Styles might have changed his mind and was like, I would like to be in the Hall of Fame, right? Because apparently they approached him last year and he was like, I want to be retired before being in the Hall of Fame. This could be somewhere where AJ changed his mind, and this is the big phenomenal moment. He's going to be the TNA inductee at Bound for Glory.
Well, I'll throw something else out to you. Talking about the importance of the TNA Hall of Fame, and I might be wrong about this. I don't know, and maybe I got to look it up before I suggest it. Abyss, is he in the TNA Hall of Fame already?
I think he is. I think.
Emotional. Okay, he is, and he went in a couple years ago. Actually, a while ago. I missed that one. Because I was partly thinking, like, does an Abyss show up? Again, he said he's fully done with the in-ring stuff for obvious reasons. But I thought, that's kind of name. And they could use that as that kind of, we'll bring you in to induct you into the Hall of Fame, make you a part of this. And it doesn't mean that you're there for a long time kind of thing. Even if AJ Styles is present at Slammiversary, I don't know that it's going to lend to, like, something major as far as, like, AJ Styles for world champion at Bound for Glory. I don't think we're there yet.
Right. Yeah. I don't think, we're there. I'm more thinking on the Hall of Fame side, but I don't think it's going to be something huge. But like I said, just go in for the Slammiversary card. And if we get those surprises, let's get excited then.
For sure. And now MDB did have a good point about the fractured. I forgot about the fractured skull because the guy just no-sold the fractured skull.
That's right. I forgot about the fractured skull.
There's a good name. And again, Drake Maverick. Let's go. LA Knight would be a fun one. He's super popular right now, but we're kind of not sure where his story is going right now. That would be interesting. I don't know if there's any other names that's been batted around that you've heard.
I've heard Natty so many times, and we got the
Nice.
Natty versus Masha match at Bloodsport the
Yeah.
weekend of Slammiversary. So I mean SummerSlam. So I've
Yes.
heard that name thrown around that she could show up. I mean, at this point, if we want to throw out names, Naomi could show up because she was there once, you know,
Right.
in TNA. So I mean, there's a lot of possibilities.
I like it. I like it. I like it that they're again, it's been a long time. Like TNA for so long was kind of in its bubble. And the fun thing about TNA and their big shows is random people would show up. Like, you know, it would be like Bobby Fish all of a sudden's on TNA one night, or, you know, Eric Young returns. Like, you never, because they kind of pull from everywhere, you never really knew who was going to show up. And they get you on a lot of surprises. It feels kind of like they've been able to do that again. But the additional kind of relationship with WWE lends to more options. Is Enzo Amore signed with TNA? Now, I know he appeared. Is he?
Yeah, I haven't heard anything. I haven't heard. He had that one moment last week, and then that was it. So we'll see.
Okay. Geekbox saying, well said, Anthony. Scott Demore would love you for saying that in the day.
Oh, what I said about being cautious about Slammiversary. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to spread some, you know, actuality.
We've said that a lot, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
What's up, O'Keefe? I'm new here. You came to the right place because we watch more live wrestling than anybody else out there. Welcome.
Know him. We'll see.
Okay. Jordan Grace, TNA. Well, she's kind of tied up. We'll see that. And that one doesn't feel as like shocking. Like if Jordan showed up, she was just there, you know, right? So manager role would be interesting. But overall, that is the card. That is what we know of right now. There might be something that comes out of the show that's currently on. Anthony, overall, excitement level, 8, 9, 10.
I don't want to push my luck and say 9, but I'm going to say a cool 8. I'm at an 8.
That seems fair. I mean, my anticipation right now, like I'm super excited. We just ran through that card, and like I'd say all but maybe 2 of them where we're like, this could be match of the night. And even the other ones that we didn't say that about are still going to be quality matches. It's just there's a heavy amount of competition on this one.
Yeah, heavy amount of competition with the matches. So, I mean, any one of them could pull it out as it being match of the night.
For sure. But that's it. That's the card, guys. That's the show. A quick and easy one. Last time we did a preview show, we did like 29 matches. So this was a lot more refreshing and easier to digest. Steve Macklin announced an open challenge at Slam. There's a surprise spot.
Oh,
he's not going to go AJ Styles. Calm down, folks.
Oh, shoot. There is one person that Steve Macklin said he wanted to defend the title against that was on the main roster, and that was Sheamus.
I'm in. Let's go.
Yeah. So that could be something. So we got Macklin on the card. I'm happy about that now.
So his noodle's good, and he's going to be on the card. That's 2 wins. Big Steve Macklin. I love that. And what's up, Bob? Look at this guy fashionably late. Are you guys leaving? Hi. That's good. I like that. But I will remind everybody, we are the Wrestling Fans United. Use the hashtag WFU anywhere you can. We are the anti-IWC. We try and talk and listen. I love when you're trying to have an online conversation and people just keep firing darts at you of like all the offensive words they can find. No clear argument. They just want you to know how stupid you were for thinking. We are the WFU. We are the Wrestling Utopia. We are your wrestling buddies. But no, this was a fun one. Again, Sunday, 6:30 p.m. we go live. And again, if you guys want to watch Anthony have a good time, this is the show to do it on. He'll be here.
That's true.
Bouncing off the walls. So we're looking forward to this. A good card, not overly booked, and a couple additional things added to the card. So looking forward to that. Don't forget next Thursday, the Midlifeies, the mid-year for Lifeies, Golden KJs, as we give out some awards. And go do your voting. The polls are up now. And tomorrow, 7:30, SmackDown. Going to be a fun one. Cena, Cody, building SummerSlam. What else will happen? It's going to be a crazy night, fun time, feel good Friday. And that's it. I mean, we got so much. Go check out our interviews, PCO, Mark Rinaldi. Go check out all the stuff. But any final thoughts on Slammiversary or anything else going on in the wrestling world of Anthony?
Nothing going on. I can't think of anything else. I am alive, after the Naomi stuff on. I did lose my voice. It took about 2 days for it to come back. Evolution was the best WWE show this year, I feel like, pay-per-view. But I'm excited for Slammiversary as well. I think it'll be TNA's best show this year. So lock in because it's gonna be good.
I couldn't have said it better myself, folks. But that is the show. Like, share, subscribe, be a friend, tell a friend, share our links with everybody you know. That's the nicest thing you can do for us. And comment on our videos. You can give us your predictions on the comments. The comments help the algorithm so much. So make comments on these videos, even if it's just a thumbs up. But other than that, on behalf of Big Nick, that is Ringsider Anthony. I am KJ White. Have a good night. See you on the flip side.